All right, we got the car in here, and this is the furthest back I could put it, just because the toolbox is really close. That's the main reason I wanted to move this toolbox, because it could get difficult. And I would like to move the garage around because I don't think I've ever put another car in here. So I'm thinking about moving on my shelves and putting my toolbox on this side, so when I'm working on cars, I have space all the way through. But that's for another day when I'm mess with all that right now. I was gonna put it forward, but of course, you know, the whole front end of the car is longer than the rear, so it would be touching the toolbox if I did that. So I think this will be fine. I have it pretty much even in the middle, not too far off, so the lift should be fine, and I'll give it a good shake before I lift it up. But yeah, let me close the garage door, let it warm up in here, because it's like 30, actually it's 48 degrees in here, which is not bad. I had the heater running. It was like 45 when I came in. I was gonna wait to do this to a couple of days because I ordered transmission filter and fluid, but it's gonna be super cold. Tomorrow's gonna be 30, and the day after it's gonna be 16 degrees, and on Wednesdays when I get my fluid and pan. And I don't really want to be doing this in this garage when it's freezing, because this heater doesn't get that hot once it's like 20 degrees outside. This heater is really hard to keep up, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on the car now, do all the things I have to do, and then when the fluid comes in and the transmission filter comes in, I'll go ahead and do that. You know, because it shouldn't take me that long. All right, I guess I haven't really said what we're doing today, but I'm pretty sure I put it in the title of the video. And today we're going to be installing a Vrsf intercooler, eBay charge pipe, and eBay downpipe. They look pretty similar to the Vrsf ones. To be honest, I wasn't feeling like spending over $1,000 on these things. I got the downpipe, I think, for 180 bucks. No, I think it was like 160 bucks. And the charge pipe, I got it for like $110. And the intercooler was 500 something dollars. So it was way cheaper. It was like half the price for the charge pipe and the downpipe, and they both look very similar. But I guess this is the truth. You know, is it gonna be good or is it gonna be crappy? Should I have gone with Vrsf or eBay? Be fine for this. I wanted I was gonna buy the eBay intercooler as well, but I slept. There was a guy selling it one like this. I think they were trying to get rid of the inventory, and the guy wanted 180 bucks for the intercooler. And I was like, oh, I'll buy it tomorrow. And when the next day came, they only had one available, and it got sold out. I hit them up, and they say they won't have one. They won't have them for a couple months. Everyone else on eBay wanted over $300, I believe, for the intercooler. And I was like, if I'm gonna pay 300 bucks for eBay intercooler, I might as well pay 500 bucks for the Vrsf. Got that one. Gonna go ahead, put the arms in the car, lift it up, and hopefully it doesn't hit the top part. I don't think it should, because I put my bigger cars in here. So we shall see. I also ordered a little pump to pump the fluid in, and I have a cabin air filter, well, both of them, because I'm not sure when was the last time they changed it. And then over here, I'm gonna flip this over so you can see my address. This is a duck bill that I bought from, I think it was eBay as well. I'm gonna put it on, see how it looks. Since the car should be warm, it should stick really nice, because if I wait till later on, it's way too cold for it to stick. All right, guys, so as you can see, I'm on the bottom of the car, and to be honest, this thing is pretty clean down here. I guess it's only 8 years old, but I expect it to be much dirtier. But yeah, it's pretty clean. I think I'm going to start off with the downpipe, because I'm already up here. And then after I do the downpipe, I'll do the intercooler. Ah, fuck. I already forgot shit. I forgot to unplug the O2 sensors. So now I gotta lower the car again, unplug the O2 sensors, go back up, and start working on it. Gosh darn it. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But I'll probably start removing the clamps and the exhaust before I do that, because I do have to unbolt the exhaust from here, take the clamps off, so I can, oh my god. Look at this. This thing is rusty as shit. So definitely gonna snap. So I'll hit it with the impact. I know it's gonna snap instantly. I've seen that this actually come off, so I don't think it will be that big of a deal, hopefully. But that kind of sucks. But yeah, before I start lowering it, I'm gonna go ahead and take this shield off and this plate off, because you need to, in order for you to get to the bolts up there for the downpipe. Right, we got the trace out of the way, and now we can see the full downpipe all the way to the top, as you can see. And yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, this bolt, it's rusted out completely, so that's a bummer, but I was expecting it. I seen they always rust out and you always have to replace them. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap in the 13 mil in there, hit it with the impact. I know it's gonna snap off, but then it should come right off. and I should be able to pry this clamp, open it a little bit, loosen the exhaust, and be able to push it back, which it might be a pain in the ass to get that. I need e-Torx. Not sure if I have e-Torx. I think I had some from when I used to own my old BMW, but we'll have to look that up. We'll have to check my toolbox for that. But yeah, once I get all this done, then I go up and unplug the O2 sensors. But first, I'm gonna try to remove this bolt, which, like I said, I know it's gonna snap instantly. All right, so I'm actually very surprised. I thought the threads were all the way through, but it's only the nut size. So yeah, the nut came off, but now that bolt, it's rusted into the other part of the clamp. So now we have even a bigger headache. And I went and looked at my toolbox. I don't have no e-Torx to take this off, which goes to the exhaust. So I'm pretty sure it goes to the exhaust, right? Yeah, it does, right here. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So I gotta go buy e-Torx. I don't know what happened to mine. And now I gotta figure out how to take this thing off. I was hammering it out, but it did not budge at all. I'm gonna try hit it a couple more times, put some PP blaster on it, which I know that ain't gonna do nothing, but might as well try it. Yeah, I already started running into issues, and we just literally just began to work on this thing. But that's cars. If you guys ever want to work on cars, just know that that's part of it. You're gonna run into issues. Stuff like this is gonna happen all the time. Alright guys, so we just got super lucky. I hated the crap out of it for like at least 3-4 minutes until it's glowing red. And as you can see, that one part came off, and then this whole thing came off, and now it's all loose. So now I can go ahead and start taking the exhaust off. But like I said, I'm just gonna remove the hangers and then just go to Harbor Freight real quick and get an e-Torx for this. That's kind of annoying because now I have to go all the way out and get the e-Torx, but it's whatever. Yeah, let me go ahead and just start working on this. I'm just so annoyed that I have to go out. I hate, hey, one thing that I hate is going to the store when I'm starting a project, and now I have to go to the store because I don't have an e-Torx. I had a whole set, I don't know where it went. But yeah, let me go ahead and go to the store real quick. All right, so I'm back. I went ahead and got the Torx. Was able to take the hanger off. So it has a bolt, and it's easier to take out the bolt sides. It's easier to take out the bolt side than this one. So I went ahead, got those two out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to take the back one. I don't want to because I don't want the whole exhaust to fall off. But I'm gonna try with that and see what happens. Also, I went ahead and got the tried taking the bolt out from here, and it snapped. So I'm gonna have to take this bracket off and weld the nut to it, and hopefully it comes out. If not, drill it out. But that's for later. I don't want to work on that right now. Now I'm just gonna try and remove this. As you can see, I already broke loose a little bit. So I'm gonna try to slide this back and see what happens. And if I'm able to slide this back, then I can go ahead and start working on taking the downpipe off. All right, that was actually fairly easy. I just tapped it a couple times and pushed it back through here, and was able to take this off. So if you guys ever doing this, you take this bolt off, it might snap, and then take the two hangers from the back, and you should be able to slide it back and off. So now that that's off, I'm gonna go ahead, take the other bolt from the top. Hopefully it's a snap, because you can see the bottom one snapped already. Take the top one off, see what happens with that one, and then I'm gonna heat it up and put some PVA lasso on it before I mess with it. And after that, I have to lower the car, take the O2 sensors off, and then I will have the V-band, which is I believe it's 13 mil, and that should come off right away, and then this whole downpipe should come right off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the O2 sensors off. I'm gonna lower the car almost all the way down, open the hood, take the intake box off. I believe that's all you have to do, and then take the two O2 sensors off and take the downpipe off. The V-band that goes from the downpipe to the turbo, it's I don't know if it's cross-threading or what, but I put some PVA blaster on it. I'm gonna let it sit while I remove the O2 sensors, and I really hope that it comes off, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get another V-band. So I hope that comes off and that doesn't cross-thread, because that would not be fun. But I believe all that we have to do is just remove the cover, remove this part of the intake, and then the O2 sensor cables should be this two right here. It's hard to tell, but there's one there and one right there. Take those two off, and we should be able to pull that off. But yeah, I don't think it should be that bad. All right, so I was able to lift this little foam part, and I lifted up, disconnected it. It should be all good now. So let me raise the car back up and start taking that clamp off, and really hope that it doesn't break, because I do not want to deal with that breaking right now. All right, I just let that bolt up there that goes to the V-band sit for a while. I mean, for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead, try to take it off one more time. If it does not come off, I will have to heat it up and try it again, because I do not want to I don't want the bolt to strip and ruin my V-band, because then that definitely is not gonna be a good time. But the bolt looks pretty good. Doesn't look rusted out or nothing, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we got the turbo downpipe off, and let me tell you, it was a pain in the butt to get it off because the bolt snapped. It was already getting rounded out, as you can see. So I'm happy it snapped, because if it got rounded out, then it would have been a pain in the ass to take off. I'm gonna call the dealership nearby and see if they have one of these, which I doubt it. I mean, they might, because it should be common for all the cars. But if not, I'm gonna try welding a nut to it and taking it off. But yeah, that's off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this both O2 sensors off and make sure both downpipes, make sure they're both exactly the same. I want to see if the turbo has any play in it, which it doesn't. The turbo is pretty good. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. If it wasn't for that V-band and then me not having the e-torques and this snapped, I'm pretty sure the bolt's aluminum that's in here. Hopefully it's not, because if it's not, I can weld a nut to it and then try to get it off, but we'll see. I'm gonna bank that out and check that out. But yeah, to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I could have done this maybe 45 minutes, but if everything went well. But yeah, let me go ahead. That's hot. Let me go ahead, open the box over there, and compare the two downpipes. Right, I'm pretty sure this is the downpipe. This box got destroyed in shipping. That's, I don't know if the manufacturer taped it like that or if it was UPS. Not sure, but this thing got destroyed. Hopefully it's all good. I haven't opened it. I had it for about a week now and I haven't opened it yet. So let me tear this thing off. Golly. All right, here it is. Roll downpipe, 4-inch downpipe. Hell yeah, it looks pretty good. Ain't gonna lie. We have the two here. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these O2 sensors off. And ooh, I kind of melted this. That's not good. I melted this when I was heating up that the V-band. But yeah, let me take these O2 sensors off and swap them out to this one. All right, guys. So after welding 3 nuts, I was able to get it. Here's one of them, and every time it kept breaking. But then the last one, it came in halfway, and then, or the one before last, fuck, flip over. They're hot as shit. And then with that one, I was able to take it off. As you can see, it's all good now. So I just gotta get a bolt and nut. I gotta clean the threads, well, re-thread it because the threads are fogged. So I'm gonna see if I have one that is the same size as this. Clean the threads. If not, I'll bolt and nut it. I can rip the top nut off and weld a new one in it, and I'll probably just do that, to be honest. So because that the one on top is just a normal nut that they tacked it. So I'll probably just grind it off, remove it, tack a new one in it, and then I can use my own bolt and nut, and I don't have to worry about, you know, rethreading this. So I'm gonna get the grinder out, cut that one off, and put a new one on it. All right, pretty simple. Just went ahead, cut the old nut off. So now I'm just gonna go ahead. I got a whole bucket of bolts and nuts. Just grab one from here that I can find a bolt that fits, and it's the same size as the one that was here for factory. I'm pretty sure I should have one here. If not, I'm gonna be mad. So this one should work. Yep. I gotta find a smaller one because, oh no, actually it's pretty good. So I'll go ahead, find a bolt for this one, or maybe a bigger nut because it's kind of small. Actually, no, it might be the same one as the other one. I'm gonna go through the bucket, find a bolt and the nut, and weld it on, and then just put this thing back on. I already have the O2 sensors on them. It's pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. So I'm gonna go ahead fix this so I can put that together and start doing the intercooler. All right, so easy peasy. Got the new nut on there. I got a bolt. I actually have 2 different bolts. I have this one, and then I put back the other one, but I do have a longer one somewhere. I don't know where I left it, but I do have a longer one, but this one should be more than enough because I don't want it to be too long. As you can see, this one should be way long enough. So yeah, I'm glad that I didn't have to wait, because I called the dealership and the dealership said they will have one here on Wednesday. It's Monday, so I had to wait 2 days, and it was like 46 bucks plus tax. So save myself $46. But yeah, let me start putting this thing in and I'll be right back. All right guys, so this worked out very good because like I mentioned earlier, I was gonna do the transmission, filter, and fluid, and this thing actually came here today. So this was supposed to be here tomorrow, and UPS just dropped it off. So I got the fluid, I have the oil pan with the filter in there. Now I don't have to wait till tomorrow once it's colder and put the car back in the lift and do all that. So I'm super happy that this came in today. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in and just start working on this before doing the intercooler. I think maybe I'll leave this for the end, because I don't want to get all dirty with the fluid, so I'll leave that for the end. But yeah, I'm super excited. I don't have to wait till tomorrow. Hell yeah. All right guys, I got the downpipe on. I had to use some PV lashes to slide it in, but she's on. Still gotta go put the O2 sensors on, but that bolt, it worked really good. I got the bolt in, it's all tightened down. The only thing I have to do is I'm gonna try to remove this bracket, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to remove it, to be honest. But I'm gonna try to remove this bracket from here, and or just drill this out right the way it is right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get a drill, drill this out, put a new bolt on this. I'll go ahead and put the 2 rear hangers back on, and then we can go ahead and start working on the intercooler before I start putting all this back on. But yeah, super excited. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was kind of annoying getting the clamp back on, but it wasn't that bad, to be honest. All right, I officially done with the downpipe, except the O2 sensors, but I'm not gonna lower the car right now. So I'm gonna start working on the intercooler. The intercooler is pretty simple. You just have to take these little Torx right here in the corner, and there's another one right here, and that will reveal the intercooler, which is on the bottom of this tray. And after that, all you have to do is just remove the hoses, take the clips off the hoses, and you should be able to drop the intercooler. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and open the box of the intercooler to look at it, and I want to open the charge pipe as well so I can look at it, because I haven't even looked at it yet. All right, so here we have the charge pipe. That comes with a little coupler and the charge pipe. Good old eBay. All right, so here's the charge pipe. Yes, it is eBay, but it's a piece of aluminum that will do exactly the same job as the Vrsf one, I believe, and I don't see why it wouldn't. It's literally the same thing. But here it is. Comes with a coupler, comes with a pipe, and then I believe this is the clamp. It comes in a nice little package. Kind of weird, but 2 clamps. Got them both right here. And yeah, I mean, it should be pretty straightforward to mount this on. And then here we have the intercooler. I believe this is an stencil if you want to paint Vrsf on the front of the intercooler. Then let's see what we have here. I do love how they package this. A lot of companies just throw it in a box and it gets all beat up during shipping. But I think it's nice. It's heavy, but you know, hey, heavy means it's quality. So this I wouldn't cheap out with the eBay one. I mean, I don't know, it's a hit or miss. The eBay one looks exactly the same. It's just eBay. A lot of companies, I'm not saying that Vrsf does this, but a lot of companies just buy them from China and they put their own logo on it. A big company that does that is Mishimoto. Some Mishimoto products are good, but most of them are coming from China, like the fans and the thermostats and all that. They come from China and they just slap their own logo on it and call it a day. Yeah, they just slap their own logo on it, and then they charge you triple the price from the same one that you can get on eBay for, you know, 1/3 of the price. But yeah, comes with some brackets. I do not believe Vrsf does this. This does look like better quality than the one from eBay, from videos that I've watched. But it comes with some brackets. This will be your new mounting points because it is way bigger than the other one. But yeah, let me go ahead, start taking the bottom tray off and dropping off the intercooler. All right, and to remove the stock intercooler is pretty simple. Just remove those 2 bolts like I showed you, and the tray comes off. Then all you have to do is just remove the lines. I mean, remove the intercooler hoses, which that's one of them, and just remove the clip. Comes right off. This one I'm struggling a little bit. It's almost out, but Once that's off, the whole thing just literally drops. As you can see, this side is already dropping. This side it hasn't, just because the hole's still in the way. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, remove that, and the whole intercooler should come right off. Alright guys, here we have the old one. Like I said, it was fairly simple to take off. Wasn't that bad at all. And here we have the new one, which is 20 times heavier. But it's way better as well. So set it right here for you guys. You can see the difference right away, how much bigger this one is. And it's way thicker and it's taller. So it's pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and open it, maybe with some lubricant on this to let it slide very good and, you know, not mess up the O-ring on the pipe. And should be good. All right guys, as you can see, the intercooler it's in. I'm not gonna lie, this thing was a pain in the ass to put in. In order for it to like fit up there, I literally had to put it on my shoulder and push up, like if I was like squatting a fucking intercooler. It was a pain in the ass. I mean, it only took me like 10 minutes, but it was just annoying trying to get up there. But got it in. So now, instead of lowering the car into the charge pipe, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the transmission and start doing the filter on it, because I'm already down here, you know, might as well just do this. So I need whatever this is. I don't know what the fuck is, Allen key. I don't know what size. Gonna go get one of these, get my pan, drain out the trans fluid, and refill it. All right guys, we're draining the trans fluid, and let me tell you, I don't think they've done this fluid in a long time. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but doesn't smell the best neither. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's just trans fluid that's old. There's no pieces of metal or nothing there. It looks pretty clear, so that's good. But you know, a lot of people do not change this fluids because they say that BMW states that they have like lifetime fluid, but the ZF manufacturer does recommend to change the fluid every 50,000 miles. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the fluid. A lot of people say you shouldn't change it after 100,000 miles if it has never been changed before. But no, I'm gonna make more power in this car. I'm gonna be beating on it, and the last thing I want is to have some old ass fluid in there. So I'm just gonna change it. It should be fine. Better to change it than not change it. I do not believe that if I don't change the fluid, it'll be better for the car. I think if I put in new fluid, it should be fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna change it because I'm not gonna not change it and have the car have some issues. So yeah, I mean, and this is a really expensive fluid change. I think it's $250 for the pan and the fluid, so it is pretty pricey, but I prefer to pay that much than have my trans blow up or have something else happen. So yeah, this is almost done draining. I'm gonna go ahead and take all these Torx out and start pulling the pan, which it should be pretty simple. It comes right down. So I'm gonna let it drain a little more and pull this pan. All right, so here we have the pan and new bolts and even a new drain plug. It's pretty nice. Take this thing out and swap it in. It is a ZF OEM filter, so no cheapy one, so it should be good. All right, we got the new pan on. Everything is tight. I make sure the drain is tight. So when you buy the kit, they send you, I believe it's 7 quarts, but you do not need to use all 7, because if you want to use all 7, that is only when you drain all the lines, the cooler, and you remove the whole trans. But I believe now we'll need, I think, maybe 4 or 5 of them. If you guys want to see the procedure on how to fill this up, you can probably just YouTube another video, because it'll be easier than me explaining it. But basically, you pump in fluid until it starts overflowing it. Then you turn the car on, and you have to, so if the fluid starts overflowing, then you stop, you turn the car on, and then you have to wait till the car gets up to 40 to 50 Celsius in transmission fluid. A lot of people do like 45 Celsius, and then once it hits that temp, you leave the car on, and then you go ahead and you fill it all the way to the top. And then once you're done, you close it, and then you turn the car off, and that's how you fill the trans on these cars. I do have the MHD, so hopefully that gives me the temperature for the transmission. I believe it does, because my scanner does not read trans temp. It reads oil temp, but not trans temp. I believe. I could be wrong. But I do have the MHD adapter, which it should tell me. I don't see why it shouldn't tell me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start pumping this fluid in, and turn the car on, let it get warm, and see actually how loud it is, because that'll be the first cold start I do once I turn this car on. So that'll be pretty cool. All right guys, so we just made a mess. Well, I just made a mess, and it took a little bit on the 3 quarts. As you can see, it's dripping out. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the car, do the charge pipe real quick, connect the O2 sensors, and start the car. and see once the car is running. Like I said, I have to let it run till it gets to 40 to 50 Celsius, the transmission, and then come back down here, lift up the car, and while the car is running, fill the rest of the trans, close it up, and they can turn it off and put the bracket for the exhaust and the little heat shield I just removed, and put all the rest of the shields, and we should be done. So I'm super excited. I really want to see how it sounds. I'm not sure if it's going to be any louder just because it still has a stock exhaust. I don't want this car to be loud, but I do want some noise. So we'll see how it sounds. But yeah, let me go ahead and lower the car and start doing the charge pipe. We're gonna take the intake off, take this bottom box off, which is just a couple grommets, and then take the intake boot off, which is all you do is press on the sides, pop it out. And we can start taking the charge pipe off, which is very simple. All right, so we have the intake and the box off. Then you have a flathead right here. You gotta take this line off and take this little sensor off. I think it should be ready to come out, if I'm not mistaken. Loosen up this clamp a little bit more. There we go. And voila. Oh, come on now. And there she goes. Comes right off. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Now all you have to do is use a T30, remove the little sensor, put in the new downpipe, and just put everything back in. All right, so I lied. It's a T25, not a T30. That comes right off. And the new one comes with new bolts, so I will not need these ones. There you go. So I want to make sure you don't drop it or damage it, because you don't want to buy a new one. So I can tell now that I'm gonna need a washer, because good old eBay, they didn't provide a washer. So as you can see, this holes on the sensor is way bigger than the screws, and they sit really weird. So you don't want that. So go ahead, put this in here. Make sure you don't ruin that that O-ring. There you go. So now let me go ahead and get some washers for this, and put this back in. All right, we got a little washer for it. Screw it right in. We got one. I did went ahead and put a small amount of blue Loctite, just because this is aluminum and I don't want it to vibrate off, which I highly doubt it will, but you know, it does not hurt to add some Loctite to them. But do not use red. If you use red, you probably never get this off. So I just use some blue. Helps it hold it in place. Yes. And make sure you don't snap it off. Doesn't have to be that tight. That should be good. All right. And then, like I showed you guys earlier, this came with a new coupler. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this new coupler. We got a new coupler right here, and this will go on the back side of the charge pipe. So that coupler will go on this side. So just gonna go ahead, put it in, and put those two clamps in, and we should be good. All right, guys, we got the charge pipe in. It's in there tight, ain't going nowhere. Both clamps are on, and that's how I told you all the two clamps go. Pretty simple. We got the little line hooked up, the air that goes to the valve cover, I believe. And then we have the sensor hooked up. So now I'm just gonna go ahead. I'll put the air box back in it, because I do like the air box, because it still directs cold air from the outside into the intake. And then I'm gonna go ahead and plug in those two sensors and start the car. That's all we have left. All right, guys, so you can see we got the intake back on. I already connected the O2 sensor, so we're ready. So this is the moment of truth. I'm about to start the car. I gotta connect my MHD adapter. Like I said, I'll have to keep an eye on the transmission fluid temperature. So once the temperature hits around 40 to I'll say 45 Celsius, right in the middle, I go ahead and lift the car all the way up and add more fluid, close it up, and then we should be done. But this is gonna be the first start. I'm not sure if it's gonna be any louder, like I said, but you guys are about to find out right now, I guess. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why. It's super simple. It's intercooler, charge pipe, down pipe, trans. Everything's connected. Everything's good. We should be good. Let me get the keys. And see how it goes. Hey. All right, guys. Here goes my truth. So first startup. Let's see outside the car. I should be able to connect to my MHD. I don't want to go inside because I don't want to hit the lift, but little ghetto. Hold the brake pedal with the pry bar, then hit the button. Oh, I think it's quiet. Oh, it has an exhaust leak, I think. Oh yeah, it's leaking for sure. Oh, it's a little louder for sure. It's definitely a little louder, but I think it's leaking. Let me see. I don't know. I think it's leaking. I'm not sure. Could be some down pipe. I can't tell if it's leaking or not. So I'm oh no, it's not leaking. Be quiet down. It was just a cold start, I guess. Alright, she's on. Hell yeah. I know it's nice and quiet. Oh, I was a little nervous. But let me make sure the trans is good. So it's not leaking. But yeah, let me go ahead and let the trans warm up and I'll be right back. Alright guys, you can see you have transmission temp in here. And then 40 to 50 C, it's 104 to 122 Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it get up to temperature and add more fluid to it. But yeah, I mean, it's running good. The AFRs are fluctuating a little bit more than normal, so I'm gonna go ahead and it's kind of weird. So I don't know if it's because I don't have a tune for down pipes and intercooler, which that could be it. So, but yeah, like I said, let this thing warm up. I'm gonna go ahead, lift it all the way up, and keep an eye on the temperature and feel it as it gets warmer, or feel it once it gets warm. But this thing, I just give it a little bit of gas, like to 3,000 RPM, and it sounds just like stock. So I don't think it's gonna be any louder. Like I said, I still have those big ass mufflers, but which is fine. I mean, if I want to make it a little louder later on, I can. I'm having a kid in a couple weeks. Well, actually, in a week and a half, I'm having a kid. So I do not want a loud car, especially with a newborn. So it's nice if it's a little quiet. But 77. Let's lift it up and wait for it to warm up. Alright, well, I just finished putting all the fluid in. Ended up taking 5 quarts, or like 4 3/4. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drain the old fluid into the quarts to see if I put in the same amount I took out. But yeah, we'll let the trans warm up to 109 degrees, and that should be around 42, 43 Celsius, which is perfect. So now we can go ahead, lower this thing, and start putting everything together. All right guys, so I'm officially done with downpipe, intercooler, charge pipe. Now I just have to add the tune, so add the stage 2 plus tune and clean up my tools. And before I even pull this out, since the body is actually pretty warm, I'm gonna go ahead and do my duck bill. It took me way more than I thought it was gonna take me. I think I started this around maybe like around 1 o'clock, I believe, and it's 7 o'clock. So 6 hours, 7 hours to do all 3 of those. I'm not sure. I could have done it way faster, but this is the thing with cars. That's why I do not do side jobs, because you can quote someone a certain amount of money, but then when stuff like this happens, like the V-band was rusted out, then I had to weld it to, you know, get the broken bolt off, and then the other exhaust hanger was fucked up. So a lot of stuff at a time, and you know, that's why I don't work on people's cars. That's why I only work on my cars. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, you want to work on my car?" I'm like, "Nope." For this exact reason, because I thought this was gonna take me around 3-4 hours, and like I said, it took me 6 or 7 hours, which is not terrible, but I think I could have done it faster if stuff wasn't missing, or if I didn't have to go to the store, get tools and stuff like that. But yeah, the car is now down on all 4s. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put the duck bill on real quick, and I'll be right back so I can show you guys how it looks. All right, so this is the before, stock, nothing on the back. Now let's add it and see how it looks. All right, it's not on, it's just lay on top. Usually they come with 3M tape, but this one did not come with any. But at least you can see how it will look. Doesn't look the best, doesn't look the worst. I think once I have the wheels on, the car's lowered, it will look way better. Right now, kind of looks kind of ricey, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm not even gonna bother putting it on. I'm just gonna leave it to the side. I noticed that it has a couple holes here, 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 and here. So it has 4 holes, but I am not drilling onto this trunk. So either I'll double-sided tape it or I would just not put it on at all. I'm just gonna put this somewhere on top. I'll get to it once summer's here and I lower the car. But yeah, let me put this cover on and we're done. All right, so as you can see, here I have 4 full ones and half of one right here. So that means that I put in the same amount that I took out, which is pretty good. So I'm very happy. I'm glad I did it right. You know, I didn't put in too much or too little. I got the pan here. You know, I toss the shit away. I have to go take that trans fluid to the parts store tomorrow to recycle it. But yeah, it's time to clean up this mess that I made. It's not that bad. It's just a couple boxes and clean all my tools. But I'm super excited. I'm gonna go ahead and put the MHD toner, and tomorrow gonna go ahead for the draggy run. So if you guys want to see what this car runs on the draggy, there'll be another video. I'll be making that tomorrow because it's already pretty late and I have to do a couple stuff right now inside. So unfortunately I cannot go out and drive it, but for sure tomorrow I'll go out and drive it. If you guys haven't watched my previous video, I did do a couple draggy runs with the stage 1 and stock. So if you guys want to go back and watch those videos, I want to compare what it does. I hope that it runs at least a second and a half faster than a quarter mile. I don't see why not. I mean, it's gonna be making like I think 100 horsepower more. Hopefully that's enough to run at least a second. My goal for this car is to run like low 12s, and I think you should do it now with all the mods that I have. But if you guys wanna watch the video, it should be out right after this one. So make sure to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.